You think Ja can win a dunk contest?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like he could jump off with 2 from the free throw line.
2 feet from the free throw line?
They gonna drug test Ja. You better quit, boy. Podcast P fam, welcome back to another episode of Podcast P, a Wave original presented by Prize Picks. It's your boy PG. Join with me is my co-host, Jackie Long.
Dale.
And my boy, Dallas Rutherford. That was boring as boring.
Always.
Hey, and ladies and gentlemen, we got another special guest today. We gonna chop it up with my young fella, a rising star, play for the Memphis Grizzlies, GG Jackson. Shout out my young, baby. Shout out my young. What's up, kid?
Appreciate you having me.
How you doing? How you living?
Doing good, living good. Can't complain about much other than it's pretty cold here in Memphis, but other than that, I'm living good.
All right, now what's cold?
The air is nifty. It's nifty.
He said the air.
I wish I could show y'all, but my front door, it ain't really sealed when you close it, so air is still like coming in.
Oh, so you getting a little draft in there.
Yeah.
Ooh. You know what was crazy? I got a haircut yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. So I went outside, shake my T-shirt outside. Man, when I tried to put my T-shirt back on, like my T-shirt was brick cold. Damn, that happened quick.
I see with the first line, I still got to get. Put that back down.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because we don't do that. Don't do that.
Back down. That's on me.
Do we got any surprises over there, Bunky? Anything under that do-rag? We still good?
Nah, right now, that's why first episode I'm wearing the wave cap, because you already know what I'm training. I'm training right now. So, hey, I'm good. I'm training them over here, P. I'm training. Hey, I would die laughing if you had the spray on.
Hey, let's jump right into this, though, man. Let's jump right into this. Obviously, me being from Cali, and the culture we have in basketball and hoopers around the world, specifically in California, when you think of myself, James Harden, Drew Holiday, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook, the list goes on. You being from South Carolina, obviously you have KG, you got Ja, Zion, yourself. Talk to us a little bit about the talent there that you guys have, and is it slept on? Is there some guys that's under the cracks, or there's some up-and-comers on the way? Talk to us a little bit about South Carolina.
I feel like we're definitely kind of looked down on just because, you know, West Coast has more like media and outlets and different things like that. But we might have swaggier hoopers in my opinion. As far as like just game, like of course you and Harden and Drew kind of stiff a little bit, you know, but we got Ja with the double cross, Zion stuff. Yeah, I feel like just media outlets and all that, but definitely look down upon. But we still understand that at the end of the day, it all matters when we step in between the lines. And I feel like us Southern guys, we do a good job of proving that.
Okay. Is there one thing that you can like, because obviously when you look at Southern California players, specifically like LA-based players, there's like you look at them and they're like all around players, right? There's a certain swag, like you said, there's a certain way that we kind of approach the game where it's like they're smooth. They play a little bit of everything. They can do a little bit of everything. They're well-rounded, right? I think it's partly because of how much talent that there is in California that you're almost forced to figure the game out and have to do multiple things. Is there a thing that stands out or sticks out in South Carolina where you can identify like, yep, that's a South Carolina player right there?
That's a good question.
And we know explosive. You can talk about Ja and Zion. We know that there's some explosive talent out there.
At first I was gonna say something like trash talk, but I was like, y'all Cali dude, you know, on the dead homies and all that stuff like that.
Right.
I don't really know. Probably a literal answer might be just accent, maybe. Mm-hmm. We're talking about like a dribble pattern. It's kind of like more elongated, like, you know what I'm saying, crossover, like they're really trying to get you. Even KG in that one video where he went like 9-0 in the like full court one-on-ones. He had the
the Team USA, right?
Yeah, big long extended cross.
Yeah. I
don't know. I feel like maybe a dude size up.
Okay.
Gigi, you were a top recruit, and then you reclassified and actually decommitted from UNC. And I believe you were the first player to do that since J.R. Smith did it, but you ultimately chose South Carolina. Can you walk us through just a little bit about that process and how you selected, what college you were going to go to and the factors that played into that?
Growing up, it was always UNC for me. My dad always, he had the UNC hats, UNC hoodies and stuff, UNC like bumper stickers on the car and stuff like that. So we always told each other that sorry about that. If we ever got the call, we would commit like on the spot.
Just got it.
So
You just got the call.
I just got the call.
we did the call. I told Coach Hubert Davis right on the phone, like, we don't have to announce nothing or anything like that, but like, I'm all in. We coming. I still went on with my official visits and stuff like that, and it was actually before Lamont Paris got the job at South Carolina. Coach Frank Martin was still there, and on my official visit, we had I want to say like a 30-minute hour meeting in his office. The one thing that stuck out the most to me, he was like, just think about like the hope or what the state can do for you. You know what I'm saying? He was like, maybe like 50 years, say you want to build a school or something like that, just by you being an alumni of South Carolina and, like showing that guys can stay home, they might, take that in consideration. And I feel like it paved a sort of a way for kids to stay home. Guys like Cam Scott decided to stay home. Colin Bowles decided to stay home. So we got a lot of homegrown guys that are trying to stay home now.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. I think, you definitely trailblazed and left a legacy behind you for South Carolina to continue to succeed. So, yeah, shout out to you, man. That's. I wish I had those problems. I could be like, North Carolina. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go to South Carolina.
It was a hard decision for sure.
Can you walk us through a little bit about the actual conversation? Like I'd assume that'd be tough having to, tell a program like that you're not going to be attending the school. Like, what was that actual conversation like? Did you have to get on the call and call the coach? And
I can't remember exactly how it went. But I think I took the punk route, and I told my dad.
Punk route.
Posted it on IG and said that's a wrap.
Yeah, I was.
Dad, can you do it?
I was really scared. I think I either texted Hubert Davis or I think had a quick phone call. But one of the first coaches that told me he knew what was going to happen was Bruce Pearl. We was in Indiana, actually, at the EYBL session. He was like, oh man, I love your game and all that, man, but I know what you're going to do.
That's crazy. When you think about the talent, obviously, that went to North Carolina, but then the talent that slipped through the cracks for North Carolina. We had Drew Holiday on, and he talked about how he turned down North Carolina, and now yourself, North Carolina, man, could have had some crazy things already with what they've had. So
it's not kind of weird, but it's fun because now Armando Baycott is a part of our organization with the Memphis Hustle, and me and him have conversations about like what ifs and stuff. I got to play with him for 3 games in my ramping up stage in the G League, and I almost had a triple double, 7 assists. Sound.
Talk your talk.
Shit.
A lot of
talk your talk.
With him, so we got to, see how our dynamic would have worked if, we imagined it back then.
Right.
I want to ask you this, man. We know how amazing you are. You almost got these triple doubles, like you said. But what I don't get and understand, man, it makes me so mad because you were a top recruit. You were a projected lottery pick. And we all know you was the man in high school. Now, this is where I got to ask, man. Then the draft comes up, and I know for sure you a first round pick for sure. Man, you end up going to the second round, man. What was going through your head at this time, man?
Figuring out ways to go back in time because I tried to push off the things that I knew were the reasons for it and just tried to go off, they think I'm talented, so I'll be straight. My dad always tells me, attitude and manners can take you farther in life. So there was some things I had to clean up on and ultimately reflect, in myself, and definitely some of my biggest regrets in college were just a couple 5-minute decisions that, cost you $5 million.
Wow. Did you feel going through the draft process, did you feel that you were still going to be slotted to go first round?
Definitely.
Or as workouts were going, you could feel or you could sense that like, all right, they're not high on me as I thought they would be.
Yeah, I feel like each workout I show what I'm capable of. But I came in so unprepared, not even just like on the skill side, but the mental aspect. These coaches, they're going to trash talk you when you walk in. Everything's not going to, it's not sweet in there. So even though you may bink, step back somebody's, get your ass back on defense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't prepare myself enough, like winded wise. And my Houston Rockets workout, oh my gosh, with John Lucas, I ended up throwing up, man. That was,
damn.
He was so bad. He was not playing at all.
I was going to ask you, how many teams did you visit?
14.
14 workouts. Okay.
Asking that because P did, what you did, 17, P?
I did 18.
18, just remembering that.
Yeah, I heard you had a great workout and great time down with Indiana. Obviously, that was the team that, kind of made me who I am today. Fun story or backstory about Indiana. So like when I was going through the draft process, there was a stretch where I got hurt doing workouts, right? And I could not move. Like my groin was tore up. Like I literally, and it's crazy, ironically, I'm dealing with a groin injury now, but I literally could not move, right? I had a workout with another team and I had to cancel it because of the injury. And Indiana was so sure that they could fix me. They're like, just come on down. Like, we want you here to work out. Like, we feel confident in our trainers that we will get you on the court and go work out. So me and my agent was like, all right, they're confident. Just go on down. What's the worst that could happen? Long story short, they fixed me. And I end up having one of the best workouts that I had through the whole draft process. So for you, I want to know, like, what was your experience like working out for Indiana?
I got a lot of oohs and ahs from Tyrese. He came in like midway through the workout, and he was sitting on the side.
Yo, this kid's nice.
For sure. It was fun, though. It was a lot of competition in there. It was me, Noah Clowney, like some other like huge guys. But I got kind of nervous. Mr. Bird was in there watching, and like nothing impresses like Mr. Bird. So he's
the best with the stone face.
I'm trying my hardest to do everything, and then at the end he came and it was a young lady. She came, and we was watching like film of the workout. And she was like, "Yeah, like Paul George, he had the best to this day, the best workout in Indiana." So I was like, "Damn." Tried to,
really?
They claim that.
Yeah. I killed it. I'm not gonna lie. I killed it. If I didn't go past, like if I didn't get drafted by Indiana, I would have been like, damn, like, I don't know where I'm gonna go because that was the best place I would play. I killed it. I for sure killed it there.
Gigi, so you get drafted, and I think I read somewhere that during training camp that you said that you felt like you were bad at basketball. And to me, you were talking about how there was a gap between yourself and the other players. Talk to us a little bit about what that experience was like and finally playing against NBA level talent. And where did you feel specifically in your game? Where did you feel like you were behind compared to the other guys on the team?
Coming in, I still kind of had the big head from college. I had these 20-point games and all that, and then still riding off what I did in high school. But you quickly get reminded that everybody has those same accolades and stuff. It was hard to score a basket. Like the mid-range seemed far, like layups seemed like I had to put them higher off the glass. The whole week of training, I specifically remember I had 2 buckets. D Rose hit me on a full court chest pass, so he split like 2 defenders. And I dunked Xavier Tillman off my right leg.
Hey.
It was a confidence thing as well because I never felt as nervous as I did. I'm like, I want to, tween cross behind the back this guy, but my body's not letting me do that. Right? I can't explain that feeling, but I'm pretty sure a lot of other competitors have like felt that feeling before. Yeah, my confidence and my handles and shot. That was I realized I was super behind on those things.
Gigi, do I look nosy?
Ugly.
I said, do I look nosy?
Oh, my bad.
I don't look nosy.
No, sir.
Well, I am, man. So look, I gotta know this, Gigi, because it's been on my head, man. I want to know this. It's just 3 questions, okay? It's just got you. What motivated you more when you dropped 23 on the Warriors, or going head to head with CP3, your former AAU coach, or Stephen Curry getting uninvited from his camp? And I want you to give me a little short story about all of them, but definitely give me that story on Stephen, please.
Which one you want me to start at?
23 points.
Okay, yeah. That game, I'm calling the boys. I'm calling everybody like, yo, like, we're here. It's time to get paid and all these things. And but going into that game, I had that same nervousness or same lack of confidence in the sense that it only took that first shot to go in, and I was like, it might be one of those days. The lights were super bright, but I don't know. I love when the lights get bright, kind of, because when you start to go off, the crowd starts to get involved and all that. So, and I still say to this day, that wasn't me during that game. That was definitely the man up above. Because some of those shots, I was off balance. I wasn't doing my right shooting mechanics, and somehow
That ball was going in.
That's God's work, baby. Come on.
When we went to Golden State to play them and got to play against CP, I was like, man, like, he's kind of slow right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's into him. He's a little slow. I hit a 3 in his face. He looked back. He was like, ah, damn. So it was little fun interactions like that. It was cool because literally just like last year he was coaching me at PCM. So it was fun to get out there with those guys. The thing with the camp, because the only reason I was mad about reclassifying up was because I wasn't going to be able to play in the McDonald's All-American game. I wasn't going to be able to get stamped on ESPN as number 1 because I was number 1 on every other list except ESPN, and I really wanted that ESPN. And then the Steph Curry camp. But I was a lock for all 3 of them going into my senior year. When we came out with the news, they took those things back. So I couldn't hesitate. I had to let Curry know. I'm like, dang, like,
I'm about to say, did you let him know?
I talked to him at halftime because I was like, I don't know if I'll, talk to him after the game or whatnot. He might put the towel over his head and walk out straight out the arena. And I was like, yo, Steph. I was like, why you do me like that, man? He was like, what? Y'all see my invite back. And he was like, he tried to play him like, oh, my fault, man. I didn't even know. But I told him it was all love, but definitely something that I had in mind. Even when I got to guard him, I was like, the same thing he was doing to Chet at them in those camps. I'm expecting him to come at me like that. So I tried to, make sure I was remembering them highlights that I watched in middle school and stuff.
Right. Yeah, you got to be prepared. Fuck that. Nowadays, social media, boy, you got to be prepared. I want to talk about, you obviously being one of the youngest in the league. A lot of times being the young guy in the league, there's an edge in this and a hunger that you guys play with, right? We've all been there. And you want to challenge the greats. You want to challenge, the guys you looked up to. You really had an awesome year last year. That being said, out of all the moments, which one means the most to you in these milestones? I'm going to just read them all. Being the youngest player to hit 7 threes in the game. Youngest with a 40-point, 10-rebound game. You joined Durant and Bron as the youngest players with back-to-back 20-point games, or passing Kobe as the youngest to score 25 points or more, 25 plus off the bench. Which one of those, if I asked you, which one carries the most weight to you, what would you say?
I would go with the passing Kobe for the 25 off the bench, but be in that same sentence as KD and Bron is something I thought I would.
You got some shit that you're in a sentence of your own, though.
Yeah.
The youngest to hit 7 threes in a game. Yeah. The youngest with 40 and 10. Like, you got some youngest, you got some your own category.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, the next young guy gonna be like, man, I'm trying to be in that GG. I'm trying to be in that GG conversation.
Hopefully that's the goal. But either the 40 point, I'll go over the 80 Bron, the Kobe, and the 40 ball, and then the 7 threes. I'll put the 7 threes last because I feel like it'll be a long time before I hit 7 threes again. And get back to the gym, get up some more reps. But definitely that KD and Bron.
That's impressive, man. That's impressive. Obviously, we all got our own learning curves, but man, that's impressive. How old are you now?
20, big 20.
Yeah.
That's young. This is second season?
Yes, sir. I don't know if we
More than half of Jackie. That's great.
It's gonna get there. Hey, it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. I used to think the same way. Like, man, this shit ain't gonna ever grow. And now it's. And then his is great. So
progressions. Like I can't do that on TV. If you lucky, I'm gonna give you these. And you know what they mean. You know what they mean. Speaking of age, we gotta talk about your matchup with my boy LeBron. At 39, my boy LeBron still out there hitting fadeaways and doing his thing, man. Talking about old folks. And look at him balling. Well, anyways, man, how you gonna be 20 years old and go do my boy LeBron like that and drop 31 on him? Huh? I need you to tell me about that day and the matchup and what advice my boy LeBron gave you.
I would say it was another one of those games where it didn't feel like it was me out there necessarily. Felt like someone was playing through me. But, going ahead into the game, I had previous matchups or previous games in the season where I had to guard the best players. So I already got this one highlighted. I'm like, this got LeBron. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He wanted this day.
Take off on the free throw line on you. So I was like, this cat's still young. So I gotta put the big boy boots on. He told me, always keep a level head. And, the same thing any other, old head in basketball would tell you. And which I've learned is, one of those things you go back and your parents will be like, you'll tell me I was right. But just keep working. And that's, the biggest advice he told me to have. Always stay level-headed, but keep working hard.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
It's also crazy to think, P, like, Gigi, imagine playing against LeBron when he was, like, just try to imagine, like, LeBron being 21, 22, like, just a few years older than you. And he's still in the league, and he's got these 20-year-olds coming in and just going like, oh, I got to, like, that's wild, man.
He playing with his son.
Think about it, though.
It's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Think about it, though. Bron, Gigi wasn't even born when Bron was in the league.
Facts.
That's crazy.
That's what's crazy.
And he still go. Hey, did you see both of you guys? Did you see Kevin Garnett's reaction when he was going off about how they don't give respect? Like, did you see LeBron? He's 40 years old. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
You seen it?
I didn't see that, Lord.
Oh, bro, I can't say it. It was awesome though, bro. He basically was like, we act like this is normal. Like, we're watching LeBron dunk on somebody at 40 years old. We're watching Steph doing this. Like,
hey, little Bronny is starting the ball too. Just to say that, had to throw that in there. Yeah, go ahead, go to your question now, Dallas.
But DJ, you've had some fun matchups thus far being in the league. But I want to focus on a specific player that you got to match up against, and that's Wemby, who had a lot of hype. And I believe there was a quote of you saying that you really, weren't that impressed and, even called yourself a little bit of a hater. But since matching up with Wemby, has your opinion changed at all? And just talk a little bit about what you've seen from him and his game.
My opinion is drastically changed. As a competitor, we always find ways to hate. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of 18-year-olds saying, I'm better than Cooper Flag, but in reality, it's like, bro, shit.
Right.
He's creating a new wave, and I feel like in probably like the next 20 or 30 years, we're going to have a couple 7'5", 7'3" dudes bringing the ball up the court and doing things like that. Yeah, I feel like he is the definition of different. And, people might say, you jaw jacking or you knee round. Bro, he's catching it at the three-point line and just laying the ball in it.
I feel bad for you because you got a lot more years to see him.
Facts,
You gonna see him for a long time. Yeah, obviously we all know he's one of one, man, and he's changed the game. And to your point, I do think there's going to be more popping up with his skill set at that size. So the league is definitely about to change. You talked about obviously playing against Bron, dropping 31 on him. You talked about, facing Wemby. As you've been in the league now, was there a player where you was just like, this is surreal? Like, I get to play against this guy. Like, I'm actually guarding this person. I get to match up with this person. I've had, a long list of that from, I played, and this is, dating me a little bit, but I played against T-Mac. I played against AI. I played against Cole, Vince Carter, Paul Pierce, Chauncey Billups, Ray Allen, Shaq. You know what I mean? I had a chance to be on the court with those guys, and it was just like, wow. Like, I grew up watching these dudes. So who are some of those players that you stepped on the court and you like, man, this is crazy?
The first one was Luka. It was 30 seconds left in the game. We were in Dallas, and I checked in, and they told me I had Luka. And he's doing his little trot up. I'm like, it's 30 seconds left. Like, this nigga finna go get a bucket right now. You know what I'm saying? But him, SGA, Luka, SGA, Bron, Giannis, Tatum was crazy. Listen, 3. That was tough. JB and Donovan Mitchell, those handful of guys I was, the most starstruck with. Because you see the white bump, step back. I know it's coming. I'm gonna at least get a good contest. And they still hit the shots. Our coaches tell just tip your cap. So it was a lot of caps being tipped those games.
Yeah, right. That's an interesting point, right? Because you grow up watching these signature moves, and until that signature move is done on you, you like, damn, like that's what it is up close. Now that is a very interesting point that I think people don't really understand, which is a dope thing. I think when you do look up to people and you do like have this notion of like, man, I watched this person my whole life, and now you get one opportunity to like challenge them and see it up close. So it is a dope experience, when I got that chance, especially playing against Kobe Bryant.
I've only got to watch you. You gave us 31, I want to say.
In Memphis?
Yeah.
I think I gave y'all close to a 40 piece.
Yeah.
I don't know if you played. Yeah.
Talk your shit then, P.
Yeah. It was about 40. About 40. About 40.
Yeah. It's a handful of guys who I'm seeking to play along the lines of you, KD, Book, and a couple other guys, but you for sure.
Who do you look at to because I had Gordon Hayward, I had DeMar DeRozan, I had Jimmy Butler. Like, those were guys that I always compared myself to kind of push me to go further when I was young in the league. Like, who's those guys that you think you're in the class with, or you want to be in that class that's pushing you to be better?
I would say you and Giannis just being bigger guys who can, who are physical, who still are able to keep their speed and athleticism. You two for sure. KD just on, the consistency of his jumper, whether he's off balance and stuff falling away, don't look the exact same coming out of his hands. And MPJ, just with his form mentality.
We wanted to take a brief break from the episode to let you know that Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 5 million members across the country, it is the most fun and exciting way to get in on all the action while you watch your favorite sports and players.
Jackie, I love my Sundays. I get to, have the day to myself. I get to watch some football, and we're in playoffs now. So for this weekend, I gotta stick with the running backs. I think that's my favorite position in the NFL. I'm gonna go anything more with Saquon Barkley. I'm gonna take the more.
Okay, I dig that. And I'm going with nothing but more with the awesome rookie that's showing out, doing everything, Mr. Jaden Daniels. I'm doing everything more conversation, more money, more yards, more everything, because the boy's straight balling. More rookie of the year, too. So there you go, Dallas.
You just picked more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. So sign up today today and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. And you don't even have to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed.
Fellas, every week our friends over at Buffalo Wild Wings share with us deals and specials that our Podcast P family can enjoy. But I'm going to be real. This might be their best one yet.
The best one, P?
The best one, because Buffalo Wild Wing now has BOGO days.
That's right, P. On Mondays and Wednesdays, you can get a buy one, get one free on burgers.
And if the burgers aren't your vibe, then on Tuesday, you can get buy one, get one half off traditional wings. Or on Thursday, you can get BOGO free boneless wings. So, fellas, which day y'all rolling with on the list?
Man, I'm going to have to go. It's going up on a Tuesday. I like Tuesday. Traditional wings, Buffalo Wild Wings. We got to go traditional.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Tuesday too. I ain't too fond of the boneless wings. I want the bone in the wing, so I'm gonna go Tuesday with the traditionals.
Yep, I'm a Tuesday too. Get me real full before we gotta work. Yeah.
You can get BOGO Days deals at your local Buffalo Wild Wings or for takeout and delivery with Buffalo Wild Wings Go. So get BOGO deals Monday through Thursday with Buffalo Wild Wings, BOGO Days before it's over.
Gigi, I want to talk about what P just said, seeing things up close and personal. You got this player on your team that I would love to see up and personal because every night he does something that's just amazing. But the other day, man, you got to see up close and personal your boy Ja Morant, okay? Go get a poster, dunk on the biggest 7-footer in the game, and you know who I'm talking about. So I need to know, because you were there, because I sure wish I was there, and it didn't even count. That would make me more mad. But anyways, I need to know, man, what was your perspective on that when you seen that moment, man? Break it down to me, man.
We just got done playing. I was down with the hustle. It was my first game back. So, that first win back is like coming back from Thanksgiving. Like, niggas is tired. So, we in the locker room, and plus we lost and all that. And everybody's phone is just, we got the head down and all, but everybody's phone is bing, 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 bing. So we go to grab and then just one nigga yelled out, yo! And we like, what's up? He's like, yo, he just done Wemby. We like, who? Like, Jared? I'm like, no, nigga, Ja. And I instantly got a visualization of what it had looked like. And then seeing the video, it exceeded my imagination. Excuse my language, dad and mom, that shit was crazy.
Yeah. That is one thing, because I didn't see it live either. I got the same information someone had to tell me, like, Ja dunked on Wemby. So I'm like, all right, I see it. But I gotta actually watch it now. Like, I see how it could happen, but I gotta actually watch this now.
I'm mad you didn't see it live, because what? How did you miss that?
I didn't see it live.
I want to ask you this though about the dude. Like, his hops is really that crazy in person. Like, I know you see it a lot at practice because lately he's been doing a lot of defense of plays, stopping blocks and doing all type of crazy stuff. Like, how sick is this dude hops when you at practice with this dude, man?
I'll compare it to when you see Mario go to jump and it's a little poof of an air cloud under him. Swear to God, sometimes you see a little poof of a cloud under his feet. But, bruh, every day in practice, like the past 2 training camps I've been, granted to be a part of, it's something new, like, every day.
How often, because, as a young guy, this would happen very often for me. And I've been a part and teammates with some guys that were very athletic. Gerald Green, for instance, after practice, sometimes we would have dunk offs. My younger years, I used to be able to jump very well.
You still got a little bit.
I don't got none of that what I used to have. All right, the tricks is gone. I might be able to dunk it how I used to dunk it, but the tricks is gone. But Gerald Green used to do some crazy shit. You know what I mean? I used to witness some of the craziest dunks, just him playing around after practice. Is there some crazy stuff that, like, you think Ja could win a dunk contest?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like he could jump off the 2 from the free throw line.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Or not directly
He said
on
2
target,
feet from
maybe
the free throw.
They gonna drug test Ja. You better quit, boy. They gonna drug test Ja.
2 feet from the free throw line.
He fast break Jacob Gilliard, my former teammate. He's with Cleveland now. We running back on defense. I don't know why they turn, see the ball. We turn and see the ball. This nigga on the baseline.
Yeah. It's about how fast he can do it. Like, he gets up so quick.
He hangs in the air for a long time.
The best part was he said he was done dunking. Trae Young tweeted, like, you guys actually believed that he was going to stop dunking? And then the next week, he's flying through the air on Wemby. It was great.
So, obviously you guys got it rolling, right? I think it started off a little rocky or, a little tough with Ja not being a part of the beginning of the season. But you guys got it rolling and clicking now. Compared to last season. Last season was a bit of a struggle, your rookie year. What seemed to be the difference between last year's team and this year's team?
I feel like everyone is we all are the same goal ahead. And the whole organization, we have the same mindset and all that. And that's really been a big part. There really hasn't been any slip ups. And if we do lose a game, it's because of like the smallest detail. It isn't just because somebody who's out there straight cooking us. Kind of like I heard a story about Dirk Nowitzki, like made so many shots in a row, and then when he missed, he didn't think it was his fault. He said, got to be something wrong with the goal or something. I feel like we have that same mentality as well. We know it's things that we can fix instantly, and just figuring out a way to get close to perfection. And after that, the results will speak for themselves.
It looks like you guys definitely have, something special going over there in Memphis. And it kind of reminds me of OKC, just that team camaraderie. I think that's becoming, almost like a popular thing in the NBA. These young teams, they're playing for each other. And I think that's, speaks volumes to how well some of these young teams are doing. But you guys have a teammate by the name of Yuki Kawamura, and he's been making a real impact despite his size. And I've seen him get in the game, and he actually can play. But when I look at it, he looks like he's really bringing that locker room together as well. He gets along with everyone. He's just a guy that you want on your team. And I think that's, again, goes to that culture. But what's it like playing with Yuki? And are you guys still teaching him any curse words?
Nah, we've halted on the curse word. He knows almost all of them in the book by now.
He knows almost all of them.
you never really know the importance of a locker room guy in a sense until you feel the vibe or around somewhere change. And I feel like guys like him and myself who's just always joyful. And, Yuki, he brings a lot of media attention, so they really get to get a deeper dive into who we are. Everything is cool with Yuki. He works super, super, super hard, and he understands that he has his country on his back. That means something to him. And, he has that same mindset of that we have. Everybody's on the same page of what we know we can accomplish as a team. He's bringing that fire that he had from the Olympics to us, and it's super fun to be around. Maybe when guys have their head down to something, Yuki will come by and like, let's fucking go like that. Shit, bro. And he can hoop too. So
yeah, he's got a great IQ and knowledge of the game. I love his understanding of the game of basketball. He's very smart.
Gigi, do you watch Animal Planet? Do you watch Animal Planet and boxing?
My homie got me into boxing last summer, but like Discovery Channel and stuff.
Yeah.
Not as I used to, but yeah.
You used to. Okay.
Where you going with this one?
Well, I'm going with it because y'all don't remember when he was out there trying to protect Zach Edey and he did the little leg thing, baby giraffe. Like, nobody never taught you how to fight, man. What was that? What was that, DJ? Buckle the leg. What was that? Hey, that's what I said. What is the Animal Planet you was watching? Or boxing? What was that?
I saw a lot of TikToks where But the person has their self like speeded up so their movements look like kind of weird and stuff. And I knew I was like, man, I'm not playing well right now. I was like 0 for 9 from the 3. I was like, I gotta find some way to get the
I stopped it.
When that happened, I knew Keontae wasn't gonna pay attention to me at all. So I just took that chance. I'm like, I'm gonna do something stupid real quick, but it was too stupid.
Did you see it, P?
Nah, I didn't see it. I gotta watch it.
His boy was about to get in the fight, Zach Edey, and he come over there and like push.
It looks like a cartoon. He's like going like that, like yeah.
Oh,
You
I
should
gotta
look it
see
up.
it.
That's why I said, P, do he watch Animal Planet?
Let me see. Let me look at it.
Yeah,
Look it up.
pull it up. Pull it
Look
up.
it
Pull it
up.
up.
You
Real
gonna-
quick. You gonna see?
And you gonna see what I'm talking about.
Nah, you was playing around.
Yeah.
Oh, he-
Look at me. Oh, he was playing
Look,
around.
hey, look.
Yeah, around. Okay.
Look at that, P. What is that?
He fixed the shorts real quick too.
the Irish man. You know, the
Hey,
I don't know what that was.
he was ready to squabble up though. He was ready to squabble up. Oh man, hey yo, so I saw you had a workout with the legendary Kyrie. Talk to us a little bit about that. How did that come about? How did that happen? Obviously, Kyrie is one of the best and most gifted players that we've seen in our league today. How did that come about that you had this opportunity to get in the gym with Kyrie?
It was over the summer, and my dad, he brought up something about, I don't want to pronounce it wrong, Anta.
Anta, yeah. The shoes, right?
Yeah, the shoes. And he was like, they sent you some shoes. I was like, oh, word, like, that's what's up. And then I think probably like a week after that, Miss Taylor, I can't remember her first name, but Miss Taylor, she hit up my dad and was like, Kyrie wants you to come out to LA for these runs. When my dad brought it up to me, I was like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They named some pretty heavy names on that list that was going to be there. Trey Murphy, Nas Reed, and those guys. So I was like, I got to make sure I'm getting my treatment and my sleep and stuff right. That was such a cool experience. And as soon as we walked into the gym, he had his own treatment table on the sideline. And he had his trainer there. And they were going through stretches. So just right there in that instance, you can see the level of preparation, even just for 5-on-5 runs. Guys have that mentality to be game ready. And I was fortunate enough to look good out there. I ate a full meal of Bojangles, so I was a little out.
Oh, Bojangles.
It was a lot of heavy hitters, not just on the professional level, but the collegiate level. My guy Wesley Yates, he didn't play in it, but he was on the sideline. Isaiah, freshman at USC, and Elijah Arenas, who was there, and Trevor Reeves' son. Those two little niggas is crazy. All those guys was there, but it was a good bump.
Okay. Anything you took away from that opportunity being around Kai, like especially from a basketball standpoint, like anything working out with him or seeing him up close that you're like, you know what, let me add that to my bag. Let me add that to my preparation. Or was there something that you could implement into your game?
Patience, but not holding, if that makes sense. I would compare him to like a Le'Veon Bell. He'll sit back and wait in a sense.
Wait for that hole to open.
Just go,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I kind of took, just taking what the defense gives you, because I've been a guy who's had a history of trying to force things to the basket or just force up a shot. But every shot he got, he knew that was the shot he wanted. He knew how much space he was going to get from that shot, knew exactly where to put the ball and all that. I got like 3 stops on him, so 3-0 right now in stops, you feel me?
Be careful, Kai, one of them dudes that's going to take that personal.
Hey, kind of a sidebar question that I have, and I think that you can, parlay it with giving Gigi some advice just on the style of play. But recently, D'Angelo Russell, he had got traded over to Brooklyn. He just had that quote where he's talking about how he'll never take for granted like that style of basketball. And I'm curious just on your thoughts on the quote, because it is a little bit of a slight, I think, to the Lakers, whether that's the coaching, whether that's LeBron. But for a young guy like, Gigi himself, talk a little bit about like that importance of letting the game come to you, not forcing it, because I think UP have done a good job of that in your career of not really forcing it and just, playing off what the defense gives you?
I think we shouldn't put too much on someone's opinion, right? Like, that's how he feels. That's how he feels. Like, he's enjoying, obviously where Brooklyn is right now and where the Lakers are. There's more pressure playing for the Lakers. And yeah, there's pressure playing with Bron. They don't have a Bron-like player in Brooklyn. So obviously you get to play a little bit more carefree and a little bit more, free basketball. But I wouldn't put too much weight on it on someone's opinion. That's how he feels. That's how he feels. Only he knows the difference that he wants to play at, or the pace or style he wants to play at. But to the approach of playing at your own pace and letting the game come to you, I think that's kind of always been where I hung my hat on, right? Like, I try to start games off trying to get a feel for the game and understand how I can be aggressive, more assertive, and just take what the defense gives me. And so there is a bit of finding your way throughout a game. I think that's where rhythm, and I feel I'm a rhythm player. Like, that's where rhythm comes from, finding your way throughout a game. But I've never been a guy that comes out, chucking or, trying to, unless, I come into a game thinking I have to be ultra aggressive or I got to look for my shot early. I always try to let the game come to me. You know what I mean? I try to attack, to set up, see what I can get away with, what they're going to give me. And over time, you're just jotting all this stuff down in your head, right? Like, each possession, like, oh, okay, they're going to give me the midi. They're going under on step ups. Like, I got come off right for the three, or they're going to let me play one-on-one tonight. Or, they're going to send the double on the second dribble. Like, you start to calculate all of these things as the game goes on. And I think that's where you kind of understand how to manipulate the game at that point, especially being, star player and being in that position. You kind of get a feel to how to manipulate the game once you get a test of how the game is being played. So I think that's a good, especially at 20 years old, you already realizing how to play at a pace and how to, not just be chaotic when you get on the floor. I think that's what happens with players sometimes. When they get minutes, they think they have to make an impact and go 100 miles per hour. And with that, they're not making shots, or they're turning the ball over, or they're out of position. I think you just letting, still approach the game like, I got to make an impact, but, just be a little bit more wiser and smarter about the situation.
DJ, earlier in the episode, you talked a little bit about CP3 as your AAU coach. And on that team, you also had Rob Dillingham, and you guys were teammates during your AAU run. And it just kind of got me thinking, where do you think you guys stack up as almost like an AAU duo in the history of this AAU world? And P, you can chime in on this too if you got any, I know me and you were a pretty good 1-2 punch if you ask me, but anybody else that you can think of, let me know.
I would say from De'Aaron Fox through Trey Young and MPJ and them, like Paulo and them, to us, I'll say we're kind of on the lower side of those things because, yeah, we're advanced, but those guys had the size. Been the same size since we've been 16. Guys like Patrick Baldwin Jr. was cooking the AAU and stuff. Numbers wise, wins and losses, if we don't count that, just stats, we was cooking.
Yeah.
He was getting about, he was getting like 20 and 7 assists and all that. And I would just be down there with like 16 and 16, like 3 blocks or something. But it was fun playing with him for sure.
Damn, when I think of duos, man, there's a lot out there. I mean, Derek D. Rose and Eric Gordon, that was a crazy backcourt in AAU.
Sharif and Brandon Boston was pretty cool too.
Brandon Boston was a bucket. That's my youngin. He's a bucket. Josh Smith and Dwight Howard was terror.
They played together.
Yeah.
I like that D Rose, Eric Gordon one, bro.
D Rose and Eric Gordon, that is underrated, bro. That was underrated. But I think there's a lot of sleepers like Lance and Ronaldo Sidney. Lance Stevenson and Ronaldo Sidney was a heck of a duo. Who else can I think of? I think DeMar DeRozan and Brandon Jennings. There are some tough duos out there.
I've been doing some research, being too nosy. I didn't know you could rap. Did not know you could rap, man. I did not know you could rap. I heard you rapping to that Llama Llama. And I ain't gonna lie, you was killing it. You was killing the other teammate. Who was that?
Desmond.
Man, he was doo-doo. He was doo-doo. He was doo-doo. I ain't gonna lie. You was going with it. I said, okay, got a little rapping skill. And you didn't know I knew you do the little drum thing in church. Oh, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I already know you was doing that. With all that said, me knowing you're a rapper and you play the drums, gotta ask you this. If you wasn't playing basketball in the league, my man, what would you be doing?
Probably be along the lines of a profession musician.
Okay.
I ain't one of those, you walk in the church and it's a bad drum set and, old people singing, like, nah, we got after it in church. And I played a couple gigs with my uncle when I was like 13 or 14. If it wasn't basketball, I'd still probably be playing drums, probably for like a mass choir or something like that.
Is drums the only instrument you know how to play?
Yes, because my patience is not really that good with the other ones. Reading music was so boring when, why read when you can just play off it, sound and just hit things.
I got to ask you, is you still doing the drums and do you got one in your house right now?
Nah, the houses next are too close, but, Lord's willing, we signed that next contract. Couple of years, get out there.
Get your little sound studio.
Yeah.
But do you still got you one though around? Like you got one at all?
Oh yeah, back at home in South Carolina, I have one at home, but like 3 at the church.
Nobody else besides just you and your dad. Nobody else do the drums.
My mom's youngest brother Henry, who I learned everything from, he plays drums. All my aunts and stuff, my sisters, sung in church. Had the loud ass tambourine and stuff. My granddad could play the guitar and stuff. So it's a lot of musical history. And sure.
That's one thing we got in common. I grew up in the church. I was actually in the choir for 7, 8 years of my childhood. My whole family we joined the church back in Palmdale and literally my whole family was the choir. So, I had from cousins to aunts, uncles, we were the choir. When I saw that you were in the drumming, the drummer for your church, that was, I got a heart for that. You know what I mean? I got a heart for that because that's kind of my upbringing and how I grew up. So shout out to your moms and pops, man. Shout out to your moms and pops.
They got rappers in the NBA, musicians in the NBA. Y'all got to do something in the NBA. Put all the singers that sing in the NBA, the wannabe rappers like P, put them on some other track. And come on, produce a beat for them, man.
Concerts.
Come on, y'all got all this talent, man. I need a beat this week.
JB can do it, anybody.
Come on.
All right, so we're back with another PG Starting 5, and this week's edition of PG Starting 5 is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar. So Gigi, we do this Starting 5 thing where you're going to draft a team 1 through 5 around a theme. So we've done like phone booth scores or best 3-point shooters. So today's theme is considering you were a second round pick and you're doing your thing in the league. There's a lot of talent in the second round that I think gets overlooked. So with that said, we're going to do a starting 5 of the best second round picks of all time and why. And this can be positionless. So you don't really have to pick a point guard, shooting guard, just 5. So Gigi, we're going to start with you first. Who do you have as your number 1 second round draft pick?
Gotta go with that Joker, man.
Oh, you're going center first, huh?
Yeah, that's hey, it's positionless, P. It's positionless. I just said that. Okay.
Oh, so no position. Oh, okay. My bad.
Just your best 5.
Best 5. Damn, that's a good one. I'm gonna go Manu. I'm gonna go Ginobili.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Ginobili.
Europeans. Okay.
Yeah, I mean he going European. I gotta go European. Well, I got the 1-2.
Was Brunson in the?
Jalen Brunson was a second round pick. Jalen Brunson was a second round pick. That's a good one. I'm gonna go Hibachi. Gilbert Arenas.
Okay. Little Gil.
I'm going to go Gilbert Arenas. Ooh, my backcourt is crazy.
With the wheel.
That's a good one. I feel like this guy will give him a hard time, not by just guarding him, just like, getting in his head. I go Draymond.
Okay. Ooh. Hey, that would be a good battle. Who would win just on a trash talking battle?
We gonna be fighting.
Gilbert Arenas or Draymond? It'd be fun to watch.
I'm going to go Marc Gasol.
Ooh. You didn't even go Paul.
Second round. He went second round. I'm going to go Marc Gasol. I got a squad. I got a squad.
He ugly, 80 down.
Man, to guard Gilbert Arenas, I gotta go my guy Jalen Wells, man.
Jalen Williams?
No, Jalen Wells. Jalen Wells.
Oh, I was about to say Jalen Williams.
No, that's my teammate. Yeah, Jalen Wells, my teammate.
Okay. Show love to the teammate. Okay.
All right, who you got, P?
Chris Middleton was a second round pick, wasn't he?
Detroit Pistons, 2012, P.
I'm gonna go Chris Middleton. That's a good pickup.
You really think it's
I know who to go at. I know who to pick for the 4. I know who to pick for Draymond. Oh, I know who to pick for Draymond.
You go there,
Give me Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
Give me Dennis
You
Rodman.
were real ugly. I love it. You were real ugly.
Give me Dennis Rodman for Draymond.
That's gonna be a brawl.
That's must-see TV right there.
Everybody coming out the stands and fighting. I might come from the house and go join. I'm telling you.
That's must-see TV right there.
Did you just skip GG right there?
No,
He told me to. He told me to.
Okay, he passed it.
All right, so who we got? Who we got for you over there? You got Jalen Brunson. You got Jalen Wells.
Jokic,
Draymond. And now you need a 3.
Oh, G.G. Jackson.
There you go. Good play with yourself. There you go. Good play. Could have been said that. Taking that all day.
He wanted to make it dramatic. He wanted to make it a little dramatic.
I was waiting on it.
Close to the camera, too.
Oh, wow. Stretching his head out and shit. Yeah, should have been said that shit, GG.
Hey, love that. I think that's 2 teams that will compete at a high level.
GG, look, man, we have a tradition on podcast, B, where we ask each young star in the game the same question before we wrap. This said, I want to ask you, is there anything you would like to ask this big-nosed, ugly dude that's right here standing up? Anything you want to ask him, man. It can be about whatever you want, game, basketball, eating food, whatever. It's your time.
I'm squeezing Jackie's head right now.
Okay. I wasn't sure what you were doing up there, Coach.
Coming back from an injury, because I'm just now coming back from my first ever injury that prevented me from playing the sport. But coming back from an injury when you feel for certainty that you're 100% ready, how did you deal with when you back on the court and just taking it one step at a time instead of, trying to shoot the gun and stuff?
Yeah. As competitors, as athletes, like our natural and our instincts wants us to come back right away and play and be able to perform like we left, right? Like that's what happens a lot of times when athletes get hurt. They come back and they're antsy to get back on the court. They're antsy to get back to doing what they used to do. I think you just got to trust the process. I can speak from a personal point of like, I think the more injuries I've had and gone through, the more I've understood my body. And I think that goes with a lot of, people. Again, I can only speak for myself, but I think that's kind of how you understand how the body works. And it's a great way to kind of, your brain and your body to, be on the same page, right? So whenever I got hurt, I would know. Like, I would know what I could put my body through. I would know, obviously, the younger I was, the more I was like, you know what, F that. I feel 80%, like I'm good enough. Like my talent, my youthfulness, like I'll be all right. But I think you do always have to be mindful of letting your body heal and not jumping the gun too early. Obviously, if you feel good enough, go out there and give it your all. But if you do feel like, all right, I'm not quite there yet, there's still some stuff on the court that I used to be able to do that I'm just not capable of right now, then you know that that's not the right time to come back. So I think just not jumping the gun, using the time. If they say injury takes 2 to 4 weeks for healing, all right, give it at least 3.5 weeks before you make that decision. You know what I mean? Never try to jump the gun and be like, oh, I can do this in 2 weeks. Because it's only, and again, I can only speak for myself. I've came back from a lot of injuries because I felt good at the time, but hindsight, I probably should have waited a little longer, because after coming back, things started to pop up. This, because I'm overcompensating, just trying to get back on the court. Now I'm, injuring this, and now this got hurt. And now ultimately it turned into having surgeries in the summer. So, I think just giving it time, reading your body, having a connection to your body. And when it's that time to come back, man, that's when you give it your all. You go all the way in. But, until then, man, just, take your time through injuries.
Great question, Gigi.
You young, man. You got a long career. You're going to be in this game for a very long time. Hopefully, with the way the game is being played, you look at Bron, you look at KD, you look at Steph, these guys that have longevity, the way they've been able to take care of their bodies, man, it's because they do what's important to their body. So, look at it from that point of view. There you have it. Great question, kid, man. I wish you a ton of success. I wish you great health, and for you to keep rocking out, finish this year out, man. We appreciate you on the show. It was a blessing. It was an honor. Shout out to you. Yes, sir. We all going to be locked into you, kid. Keep going.
Go to boxing. Go to boxing camp. Go to boxing camp.
I'm trying to get into that in the summer. I heard. What did you say? I'm trying to get into boxing in the summer because I heard it's good with conditioning. So I might come
on.
Get your squabbles up.
Get your squabble up.